Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you are watching this, hopefully before you take the test. We are going to go over our test review here. Please follow along with. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in class. Let's start out here with number one. Number one, we're talking about the product rule. Product rule says that when we have two similar bases, like these ones, the 4, we need to add those exponents. So all you're going to do is add up 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 is 10, so we're going to have 4 to the 10th power. That's it. This is the power to a power. Oh, sorry, let me undo that here. That's a power rule, which is a power to a power. Remember, when we have no exponent, that just means that there is an exponent of 1. So when we do this, there's a 2 out here on this problem. We need to do distribution. And when we use distribution, that is multiplication. So I need to do 6 to the first times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Again, x to the first times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Y to the first times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Again, we're multiplying those. That is multiplication. Again, product rule says we add, so we got 10. 7 plus 3. This one we multiplied. The last one, we got a couple different things going on here. We got a product rule, and we've got a quotient rule. We can do it all in one step here. We could say this is 5 to the product rule, says that we add those up. And then since we added these, with quotient rule, we need to subtract. So we're going to subtract 5. And we're going to just do that all in one step. 12 plus 4 is 16 minus 5. 16 minus 5 is 11. 5 to the 11th power. That's all it is. Product rule, power rule, product and quotient rule. Let's try number 2. Number 2, we got a couple things again. We got a product rule. 7 plus 2 is 9. We're adding those up. It's a little hard to see, so I'm going to rewrite it over here. AC to the 4th over A squared, C to the 3rd power, C cubed. And if you notice in the directions, it says all answers are only in the numerator. That means the top of the fraction. So I'm going to move everything up. Again, that's a 1. So we're going to say, what's A 1 minus 2 and C 4 minus 3. Well, A1 minus 2 is A to the negative first. C to the 4 minus 3 is 1. So negative 1 and positive 1. That's all you're doing. Last one here, again, a couple different things. 3 to the first and to the 7th squared times n to the 3rd. Well, again, this is distribution like that first problem. 3, 2 times 1 is 2. Can't finish this one up here, but we're going to have n, let's do it this way, 3 squared. 2 times 7 is 14 times n cubed. And then we can use the product rule and add n to the 14th times n to the 3rd, which is 14 plus 3, which is 17. And you're all done. At any point, you can pause the video, check those answers, rewind, whatever you need to do. Look at number 3. Let's just rewrite this as kind of what we're used to seeing. 3 to the 25th over 3 to the 5th to the 5th. Well, that's power rule, so I'm going to get 3 to the 25th over, this is 5 times 5, which is 3 to the 25th. And anytime you have the same number on top or bottom, like 7 over 7, that just equals 1. So you should get. Let's try number 4. We're trying to figure out what does the value of n equal. You have negative 7 to the 13th over negative 7 to the n equals negative 7 to the 5th. So that means we know that 13, and quotient rule says we're subtracting, equals 5. 13 minus n equals 5. You could also say opposite here. What plus 5 equals 13? You can do either way. Well, 5 plus 8 equals 13. You could also do your actual work here and say, oops, sorry, wrong one. Let's undo that really quick. Minus n equals 5. To get rid of that, you're going to subtract 13 from both sides. You're going to get negative n equals 5 minus 13 is negative 8. We can't have a negative n, so we're going to divide by negative 1. N equals 8. I'm going to stop the video here for part 1. You can come back and watch for part 2. Let me know if you have any questions.